as you always do.
And actually,
Oh,
I'm
good.
surprised how little of the room it picks up audio-wise.
Yes,
It's very good for
it is pretty good. It's better with the little earbud.
that.
Yeah, every now and again this doesn't work, and then we have just, the mic on the camera and on the phone, and it's kind of echoey. But anyway, so just the three of us chickens today.
Right?
Yeah, but hello, live stream everybody. Hello, we've got just three people in the room today. And so what I was thinking was maybe we'll, because the second half of the practice often gets short shifted, why don't we start in the chair as we often do and just do, one forward, back, one side to side, and then fast forward up to the middle of the practice and go from there. Why don't we do that? Yeah, yeah. And that way we can give, good attention to the feeling sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Mara's been here for the entire thing, but
Oh, that well.
the latter half is the one that many people say is more complex, not hard, but just more complex. So why not? Yeah, why not focus on that? So anyway, let me first introduce myself. I'm Jessica Lewis, and the name of my company is Sculpt Your Life, and we're here at the Cancer Support Community in Newcastle County, as we are every second and fourth Wednesdays. Although the class runs every Wednesday here live as well. And if you're a cancer thriver or a caregiver for someone who has cancer, you are welcome to be here for free. All you need to do is reach out to my supervisor, Erica Narducci. She's the program director, and she will help you be here. Okay? So anyway, why don't we, just get comfortable in the chair. And if you're leaning back against your chair, yeah, try to find the sweet spot for your upper body. Because remember, we always are looking to find that magic effort of no effort thing in here. So it begins while we're just in the chair too. We want to find just the right position, especially for our upper bodies, where they can be very upright, but you don't feel any muscles, especially in your core, kicking in to keep it there. And there is a sweet spot for everybody, where the upper body just kind of sits down into the pelvic bowl, kind of like plugging something into a socket. Yeah. So see if you can find that position. If you're leaning back against the chair, I definitely want you to scooch a little forward. And if they aren't already, go ahead and sort of put your knees kind of in front of your hips and just let your feet kind of be under your knees. And just rest your hands on your thighs. It's pretty much the position they're going to be in and rest, whether you're seated or standing, actually. It's good to notice where they're at and the shape of your arms when they're right here, too. Just notice your upper arms kind of hanging down from the shoulders. And since in Tai Chi Chuan we often say, I want you to flow from the center, flow from your Dantian, that energetic heart mind right in the middle of your body. Why don't you pick a place to focus your attention on somewhere in the middle of your body? Just let your mind's eye look around in there and pick a spot to focus on. And I'm going to ring my singing bowl a couple times. And your whole job until I call you back out with a few more chimes on my ringing bowl is to look at this place that you've chosen to pay attention to as best you can. And let's begin. ahead and bring your attention back to the room. Oh, and I told myself I was going to give a PSA today, and then I forgot. So, who here of you and you remember me talking about a young lady named April Leffler? You ever heard me talk about April Leffler? You all know her, whether you know it or not, if you've ever been on my website or on my YouTube channel, because the lovely other young lady in the silent full practice video is April. And April is my teacher, and she is arguably one of the four best Tai Chi Chuan instructors in the world. I'm very, very lucky. I just like by accident walked into her class something like 15 years ago, and that's how that happened. But anyway, the Brandywine River Museum has asked her to come do two workshops there this spring. One is this Saturday, and one is in June. I can't remember the date. I'm going to be there at the Saturday one. It's at 9 o'clock. Just Google Brandywine River Museum. I think it's called Tai Chi Chuan in the Courtyard with April Leffler. That's her name. And a bunch of my students are going to be there. So, yes, April, shout out to you. And I hope y'all can be there if you hadn't already planned on being there. A lot of the people that come to our live stream week after week uh, are my regular students too, and they're already planning to be there. But anyway. So let us just do a couple forward. Let's do one forward backward move. Let's do rocking motion. Let's do carry the ball to the side, seated, both of them. And then I may switch to standing. If you don't want to, you don't have to. And we'll hyper link right up to the second half of the practice, okay? So here we are. We're just right in the chair the same way we were when we were resting at the beginning. And again, just finding the sweet spot for the upper body where there's no effort at all, so holding it very upright like a column right over top of your pelvis. And feel the weight in your sit bones, in your butt, really. Very evenly distributed right now. We're kind of in neutral. And then just let the weight kind of drift towards the back of your butt. Just a little bit of a drift. As it pulls my hands back a little bit too. And feel the whole upper body go backwards. Did you feel that? And then just put the hands down here. Let the palms face out. Good. Now we're just going to let the weight drift towards the front of your butt. And the whole upper body is going to go with. And we're just going to let the hands go forward. That's it. And the hands go forward till you're done going forward. And they go back till you're done going back. And they don't ever really stop. They just turn around and keep going. That's it. Nice. Remember, we're using the effort of no effort, especially in our upper arms. So that's why the elbows bend, because if the hands are going to keep going when you go forward, unless you lift your arms, the elbows are going to have to bend just a little bit. That's it. So this is rocking motion. It's sort of like sitting in a rocking chair, I've been told by many people. Ah, nice. Does feel like a glider. I think it feels easier than a rocking chair. You really have to kind of work a rocking chair sometimes, either with your legs or your abs, you know. Kind of like when you're standing on a swing and you're getting it going, that requires some effort. But you're right, and a glider, yeah, a little breeze will make it go. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, the easiest possible rocking motion you can think of. That's what we're doing. Let's do three more. Here's one. Just really feel the upper body going forward and back as a column. Two. And here's the third one. And on the way back, we're just going to stop when we kind of get to the midpoint. Just feel your body resting. Nice. So that forward, backward as a column thing is going to be true for all the forward, backward moves, regardless of whether you're seated or standing. You're just going to move farther if you're standing because one foot's going to be farther out. So it'll just have farther to go, right? So let's, again, look at the upper body right now while you're resting and notice how columnistic, I'm always making words in here, how much like a column it is, okay? And when we're doing the side to side moves, all we're going to do is let it rotate from side to side, right? Except for the head. Pretend there's like a grapefruit on top of the column. So it's going to stay forward and the column is going to move, right? So let's do carry the ball to the side. And I'll mirror you since I'm looking at you. Just let this part of your body, from your sit bones to your collarbones, is just going to turn a little bit to your right. Yeah. And just for a moment, I want you to notice, is your belly button kind of pointing off to the right now? So right, yeah. And did your left shoulder, hand, and knee kind of slide a little forward? Good. And now there's a hole right here where your right shoulder used to be, so you're just going to put your hands there. Yeah. And now as we turn to your left, the, the wrists are going to really relax here. They're just going to begin to kind of drop. And the elbows are kind of open. Good. And the elbows are just going to bend a little bit. And the fingers kind of flip back up. Yeah. And we normally do 3 sets of 3 turns here, but we're going to do all 9 today so you can kind of get a muscle memory for it. Nice. And your eyes stay forward. Nice. You feel your weight kind of shifting from sit down to sit down. Yeah. Kind of hard for me to language all that, but I definitely feel it kind of shimming. Let's do one more, and we're going to rest. Nice. Good. All right, let's start on your left, and then we'll move back to your right. This time we'll do it the traditional way, so 3 sets of 3. Okay. So turning that middle portion to the left, and up go the hands. Yeah, let's go even slower this time. I want you to really feel every little nuance of all this. So here we go. Nice. That's it. All right, here's the third one. And we're going to rest. Nice. Let's do it again. Good. Can you kind of feel how the turning of your body carries your hands for most of the way there? On the top and the bottom. You kind of feel that? Yeah. And we're going to rest. It's another little aspect of doing all these moves with the effort of no effort. The shifting of your weight and your body kind of do as much of the work as it can. And here we go. That's it. And we're going to rest. Nice. Good. Now, before we stand up, let's just do one more set of circles. But this time I want you to pay attention to how one shoulder comes out and then the other shoulder comes out, and one shoulder comes out and the other shoulder comes out. Let's start on your right. Good. And notice how your left shoulder came out. Do you feel that? Good. Let's just do one set of 3. And notice how the shoulders take turns. Which one comes out in front? So here we go. And now your right shoulder's out in front. Good. Now your left. Awesome. And we're going to rest right here. And that's going to be pivotal information when we do the practice standing, especially the side to sides. Whichever shoulder's out in front is going to have a lot to do with which hand goes where. Okay. So do you all, raise your hand if you feel like standing, or do you want to stay in your chair? One of you want. Okay. At least one of you. All right. That's fine.
Let's start there.
That's okay.
I'll start there.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. You know the practice so well that you're not going to feel lost in the dust at all, right? Yeah. And remember, for our online people, we're using the effort of no effort here. So, I mean, even just worrying about are you doing it right, that's effort. Don't worry about that. Just tell yourself you're going to do some reasonable facsimile of what you're seeing, and that's more than good. There's no such thing as bad Tai Chi Chuan, that's right. Okay, so if you're standing with me, you're going to put your feet in sort of a V shape now. All right, that's the way we start and stop each move. We're going to flow from rest and then back to rest, but the feet are usually in a V. So just find the comfortable spot for your body, right? And then find the comfortable spot for your tailbone. I'm going to turn a little sideways. I think for me, it's kind of a little bit of a tuck. But the most important thing is your knees are going to suddenly slide a little bit forward. So you're going to feel that there's a little softness there. Yeah. And even more importantly than all that, I want you to really feel 100% of your weight in the whole of each of your feet. So I don't want you to feel as if you're sort of in the balls and toes of your feet or sort of in the heels. I want your whole of each foot to feel like it's pressing down to the ground. And then just lift your fingers. So now your hands are pretty much where they were when you were sitting in a chair and they were resting on your legs. Good. So here we are resting. And let's do pulling tapping. Okay. So we're going to let all the weight shift into the right leg. Yeah. And then we're still going to let that middle part of the body turn to the right as well. Yeah. The eyes and nose and head are still going to stay forward, but notice which shoulder came out in front. It's your left, right? Yeah. So you're just going to put that left arm here, and the other arm is just going to slide up on top. It's sort of like the mirror of the arm below. And then if your left leg feels totally empty, you should be able to just extend the knee and the heel will just drop down wherever it wants to go. Yeah, that's it. And now we're just going to send all the weight into that leg. You're going to feel it filling up and bending while your right leg like empties out and lengthens, right? And the hands just separated. You did it great. And now we're just going to stand up on this filled up left leg. That's it. So let's go back again. I'm going to try to refrain from talking. Try. Of course, Master Yoda always says, there is no try. Either do or don't do it. Right? So I'm doing it. I'm not talking. Here we go. Nice. It looks really good. Nice. Let's do one more set, kind of broken up into pieces like that. Nice. Because if you can do it kind of broken up into pieces like I'm showing you, you can do it smoother. But if you don't know how to do it broken up into pieces, when you try to do it smoother, it often gets really sloppy. So let's try one more time in pieces. Here we go. Shifting, turning. There goes the hand, the other hand, there goes the leg. That's it. Nice. Let's do one more set in pieces. Nice. Nice. Very nice. And we're going to rest here. We're just going to rest for a moment. Very nice. So why did I just say what I just said? Like, why does not being sloppy matter? Because in the end, sloppy often translates to not the fullest weight shift possible. And the full weight shift is when you're going to get the most power out of the move. Very soft power, but super strong power at the same time. And that makes no sense. Does that make sense? Yeah. So when we know how to do it in pieces, you're going to get a farther weight shift, a more complete weight shift. And that's when you're really going to generate more energy around your body while you're doing the moving parts. Right? Okay. So let's do anchor taffy. I'm going to turn around so we're all going the same direction. Move my chair. Oops, I'm going to move my models. Step on my model of the human pelvis. So here we are resting. And let's do it in pieces too. We're going to sort of set this up almost the same way we do for regular taffy. But instead of out to the side, the empty foot is going to go forward. And since your belly button is turned to the right, so is your front toe. And now we're just going to slide forward. So the rear leg is empty, but the heel is still on the ground. And then we're going to slide back. And now we're going to pull taffy from the right to the left. Here we go. Nice. Good. All right, here we go. Forward first. And pull taffy to the side. And let's go forward again. Good. Let's go forward. And let's go to the right. And let's just pause here. We normally do 3 sets, but let's leave it at 2 today. And let's do wrist circles taffy. So we're going to feel the weight shifting from the back to the back, up to the front a couple times at the beginning of this. Let's get used to that feeling. Okay. Just let the weight shift to the heels and you'll feel yourself kind of dropping, and just drop your hands. So your palms are kind of be facing your thighs here. And then as your weight shifts towards the fronts of your feet, sort of the balls and toes, the hands are just going to begin to come forward, and then you're just going to lengthen your knees at the end there. Let's just do this a couple times so it starts to feel really comfortable. You feel the hands kind of rotate, and then the fingers really is what comes forward here. Yeah. It should feel like that super gentle kind of bobbing feeling that you get when you're kind of hanging out in the water. You know how you kind of bob up and down if you're sitting on a raft or something. Nice. Let's do one more. Are we good? Are we good? And now while we're down here, we're just gonna sort of roll over to the right. We're gonna put together the taffy, and then we're gonna pull it to the left. Good. Now on the way back, let's do it the traditional way. So we're gonna do 2 sets of wrist circles and then pull taffy. So here's one, and here's the other. And then we're going to get ready to pull taffy on your left and pull it to the right. Nice. And this is me zipping it again. Just follow me. Here we go. Nice. And you know what? Let's do one more set. We normally do 3 sets. Let's feel the body resting. Ah, very nice. Okay, so we're going to do the third variation of taffy right now, perpetual motion. Before we do it though, I just want to remind you of something it has 100% in common with the first pulling taffy. Okay? You don't have to do it with me, just watch. So when we do regular pulling taffy, we put all the weight on the right leg before the left leg gets out there. And then we shift until all the weight's on the left leg. And the way we know that all your weight's on the left leg is you're going to stand up on it and the right leg's going to leave the ground. All right? And then we go back again. All the weight's in the left leg, all the weight's in the right leg. Nice. So what the new move I'm about to show you and that move have in common is I want you to wait until all your weight is in one leg because the other leg is just going to lift off the ground for a moment. But then you're going to go right back again. And in that way, it's going to look perpetual. An argument can be made that it's not perpetual, but it will look perpetual. It all comes down to how you think about it, right? All right. Now, the other thing just to bear in mind is, you know, when you're on this side, your left arm is underneath, right? And when you're on this side, your right arm is underneath. And you're like, how's that going to work? So all you do is in the middle, you switch them. That's it. So try not to think too hard. Just copy what you see me doing, and that's going to be more than good enough Tai Chi Chuan because there's no such thing as bad Tai Chi Chuan. And here we go. We're going to begin. And the hands just switch places. And then we go back. And if you're seated, by the way, I can't see Kathy, but I know she is. You don't need to do anything with your feet. So that's really a relief, right? It's all about the upper body, just turning from side to side. That's one reason why some people like the seated practice, because there's less to worry about. Right. Normally we do 9 sets of this. I'm not sure I've been counting right, but let's call this next one 6 and we'll call it good. And we're going to rest. Ah, nice, very nice, very nice. Okay, so let's do working the pulley. I think we should do it seated first. I think that would be wise. Let's do that. Working the pulley seated. And you're definitely going to have to scooch all the way up to the front of your chair, even if you're lucky enough to have a chair with no arms like we do, because If you have arms, they really get in the way. But even in armless chair, the back gets in the way a little bit, unless you're all the way at the front of your seat. All right, so just feel your body resting. Nice, good. And especially feel your upper body in a very column-like position, right? It's right over top of your pelvis, right? And for argument's sake, I want you to take your left foot and just move it a couple inches out. That'll help you know when we stand up and do it that the left foot's going to be much further out than the right. Okay. And since the left foot is out, the left set of fingers is going to come, just going to bend the elbow and they're just going to be right up here near the top of your shoulder. And you're just going to turn your right arm over. Yeah. All right. So all we're going to do is let the body, the middle of your body, not your head, in the side to side moves, the head doesn't do anything, right? But we're going to let the middle of the body turn to your right. And you'll know if that happened because your belly button is going to start to point over that direction. But only go as far as you can comfortably go without feeling like you're going to fall out of your seat, which isn't really very far, right? So here we go. That's about as far as I can go. And see how your left hand came forward and your right elbow went back? Do you feel that? Yeah. So all you're going to do is turn the front hand over, right? And then kind of semicircle the back hand. Let's just go down and up a couple times. So you feel how this is all done from the elbows down. Yeah, that's it. Let's go back up. Yeah, so notice how your tips of your fingers are sort of at the height of your shoulder now. Good. All right, so now we're going to let the belly button turn to your left. Again, we're only going to go as far as we can go without feeling like we're going to fall out of the chair. And then just bring the front hand down. We're just turning it over and we're just semicircling the back hand. That's it. So let's let it go nice and smooth now. That's it. And your eyes stay forward, which is good because you'll be able to watch me better that way. That's it. And what I really want you to notice here is how when the middle portion of your body turns, it really sends your hands away from it. You kind of feel that? Yeah. There's really not much for you to do with your hands. You just have to drop the front one down and bring the back one up. Otherwise, you don't have to do anything. Nice. And we're going to do one more here. And then when we come back to about the middle, we're going to let the lower hand catch up with the upper hand. We're just going to rest. Really nice. That was great. Okay, so let's do one more thing before we put it all together. Let's do a forward backward um, move. In fact, you know what? Let's do push pull. Okay. So here we are just resting. And let all of the weight drop down into your right leg. You're going to let the whole middle portion of your body stay forward this time. It's really going to be like a column now, including your head. And just extend your empty left knee. So your front toe is facing forward, but your back toe is kind of facing off to the side. You're going to feel more stable that way. And then the elbows are just going to bend, so both fingertips are going to be sort of near the tops of your shoulders. Okay. And we're just going to let all the weight shift from the full back leg into the front leg. And the whole upper body, the whole column, including your head, is going to move forward, and the hands will go forward too. They're just going to kind of dip down and then come back. And all you have to do is just sort of rotate your arms, and the hands will change directions. Can you feel how they just change directions? And just rotate your arms. Yeah. And just feel your whole front leg filling up as your back leg empties. And then your back leg fills up as your front leg empties. Let's do one more. And let's flow back to rest. And we did 6 with the left foot out, so let's do 6 with the right foot out because I don't want you to be unbalanced here. We're going to let all the weight flow into the left leg and just extend your empty right knee. And here go the hands. Here we go. You feel the whole upper body going forward and back as a column. Can you feel that? It's just going a little farther than it did when you were doing rocking motion in the chair because you got one foot farther out. And let's do one more. And we're gonna rest. Nice. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to do working the pulley, standing, and it's kind of like a combination of all the side-to-side stuff that we've done and the move we just did. Okay, so we're going to go forward, back, and we're going to let that upper body turn at the same time. So here we are just resting. I'm going to shift a little bit further so I don't hit the wall. Good. Let all of your weight flow into your right leg, and then extend your left. Since your left leg is out there, the left set of fingers is going to be near your shoulder and the right arm is just going to rotate. Good. So we're going to let the middle portion of your body, now your head's going to stay forward, but this part of your body is going to rotate from side to side. We're going to let it turn to the right as you go forward, and that's going to push the left hand forward and the right elbow back. And then we're going to switch. Nice. Let's do one more. And on the way back, we're just going to let the lower hand catch up with the upper one. Nice. And let's do 6 on the other side. So we're going to let all the weight flow into the left leg so the right knee can extend. Right set of fingers is going to be near your shoulder. Just turn this arm over. Here we go. Yeah, feel the turning of your body, sending one arm forward and the other elbow back. You feel that? Yeah. Everybody is asymmetrical. There's no human body that's totally symmetrical. So if it feels different from side to side, congratulations, it just means you're a person. Yeah.
I was curious.
Let's do one more. And we're going to rest right here. Very nice. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, even I am asymmetrical. My right shoulder and my left hip, they're just a little funky these days. They don't hurt, but there's some limited mobility or some limited strength going on. So it feels differently from one side to the other. That's totally normal. Awesome. Let's do the next move. Light at the top of the head, light at the temple. All right, so we're just going to rest. And I'm back to mirroring you again since I'm facing you. And we're just going to let the weight kind of shift to the back of the feet. If you're standing, if you're seated, you're just going to let your upper body just, feel the weight shift towards the back of your butt. That's what you're going to feel. And here we go. And we're just going to drop the hands and we're going to let them come all the way up to the top of the head. If this is comfortable, if this doesn't feel good, put them where you want. All right. Palms very close to each other. And again, we're going to let the weight sort of shift to the back and shift to the front. Regardless of whether you're seated or standing, that will be true. Good. Good. And now with your body in neutral, you're just going to kind of pull your own energy up and out of the top of the head. Your hands are kind of passing by each other. And then you're going to hold for about the same length of time as you circled. And then we're going to let the weight shift towards the back of the body and towards the front of the body. We're going to do that 3 times. And now the hands are going to circle. And you're going to kind of fold the energy back into yourself and then let yourself rest. That's good. When the hands come up, the left hand is the one that's on top. We don't know why, it just is. And let's do the second half, which is almost the same as what we just did, only the hands are going to come up here to the temples. So here we go. That's it. Mixing forward. It's kind of like you're messing up your hair. And then you're going to hold. My thumbs actually get entangled in my hair when my hair is hanging down and I do that. And now we're going to shift backwards and forwards 3 times. Nice. Ah, nice. And just feel your body resting. And let's do joyous breath. So you're just going to let your weight shift a little bit to the right in order for your left foot to kind of move out there. If you're seated, you're not going to do a thing. Your feet are already in the perfect position. There is no such thing as perfect Tai Chi Chuan, except when you're seated and you're already in this position, right? Good. So now we're all going to have our feet sort of in the same exact position, regardless of whether we're seated or standing. And we're going to use a special kind of breath. This is one of the only 2 times in the whole practice where we're going to breathe a certain way. It's going to be like we're doing this, only with the lips closed. You're going to hear it in the back of your throat and in your head more than if I were standing next to you, would I be able to hear your breath? Okay. So you're going to exhale using that special breath and you're going to sink down, all of you, including your hands. So here we go. Good. We kind of shifted to the back of the body too. And now we're going to shift to the front of the feet or the front of your butt if you're seated as your elbows bend, and we're going to inhale. Good. And the hands are just going to turn over and we're going to use that special breath again. We're going to press down in sort of 4 sections. Good. Again. Good. One more time. Good. We're just going to let the weight kind of shift back to the right. And we're going to rest again. Really good. All right, now we're going to do passing clouds. I'm going to turn back around again. Oh, beautiful side to side move. It's essentially the same as carry the ball to the side, only instead of the hands moving together, they're going to move independently. Okay. And we've already done carry the ball to the side. So you know how to do this, either seated or probably standing too. Let all of your weight shift to your left leg to begin with, and you're going to feel that middle part of your body turning to the left also. And then up the left hand will go. And just leave the right hand here until it has something else to do. And then just extend your empty right knee. And as we shift to the right, this hand is going to drop. It's going to kind of pull this hand across. And then as we begin to shift back to the left, the right hand is going to come in on the bottom. And then on either end, they switch. So we're going to wait till all the weight is in the left leg, but the right foot is going to stay down. Wait till all the weight's in the right foot, but the left foot's going to stay down. And when you're kind of hanging out here on this right leg, that's when the hands just switch places. And the same on the left. Now let's smooth it all out. Nice. Let's do one more set here. And we're going to end just by standing up on that left leg, letting everything come to rest. Nice. Good. And then relax. Okay, so we're going to do the 6 healing sounds. It's a really cool move. I think it's like a combination of every move, all blended in together. But let's talk about the sounds first. So first of all, let me just say, it's not a valuable use of our time and vital energy to be terribly concerned with which sound means which body part, because there's a couple schools of thought on that, right? But Justin Stone, our originator, as we like to say, always used to say, just do all 6 sounds and you'll know you'll be healthier. So if we were going to say them out loud, they would sound like the following. The first one would sound like ho, ho. So let's say it out loud together. You have like a neurological muscle memory for it. So ho. The next one would be who, like who are you? Who. The next one would be Sue, like short for Susan. Sue. The next one would be should, like I should do something. Should. And the next one is she, like he and she. And the last one is chui. It's like we, but with a ch in front of it. Chui.
Oh, I can do a Tweety bird.
Oh, well, depending on what part of China you're from, you could actually do it with almost a T, right? Because T and CH and TS are often almost the same sounds, depending on what part of China you're from, right? So let's say them again out loud. If we were going to say it. Ho, who, Sue, sh, she, chui. That's it. And again, there's no such thing as bad Tai Chi Chuan. So if you get it wrong, it's okay, right? But so when we're doing the 6 healing sounds, we don't actually say them out loud. Justin used to say you aspirate them, but I don't know, my way of thinking, that's almost like drawing out, like pulling fluid out of a wound. But I think what he really meant was we're going to push them up from the dantian, like almost like you're doing, if you're singing properly, you push up from your diaphragm rather than using just your vocal cords and the top of your lungs, right? Yes, yes, yes. So the way you'll know if you're doing it right is just put one hand in front of your mouth, like pretend it's a tissue, like you're gonna blow your nose, and then put the other hand like in front of your dantian, right? So instead of saying the word ho, you're gonna push it up from here. So it's gonna be like this. And if you're doing it right, you're gonna feel breath on your hand and you're gonna feel your stomach kind of flutter, right? So let's do it one more time. Did you feel it?
Yes.
Good. So we're going to do all the sounds that way. So here's the first one again. It's actually more powerful than if you say them because your dantian is now involved, right? When you say them, it doesn't, oh, I don't feel anything in my belly. Ho, su, chui, I don't feel anything in my belly. But if I do this, it's a whole different story, right? So we're going to combine the sounds with the choreography, which really isn't hard. Again, I think the most important thing is to kind of notice which leg is full and which leg is empty. And that's going to tell you where they go. Okay. So feel your body resting. Right? Both your legs are full right now, 50-50. Then feel all of your weight flow down into your right leg. So your left leg is going to go forward. And your left hand will go forward too. I'm going to do the first sound along with that. Of your body, and I don't know about you, but my left leg just really emptied out. Did you feel your left leg empty out? So it kind of comes back and moves over to the side. And now we're going to do Sue. Good. Now my right leg just emptied out. So it's going to kind of come over and forward. And here comes sh. And here comes she. And we're going to turn. And now we're going to sweep back and forth, kind of the way we did perpetual motion tapping. Here's our last one. And we're going to rest. Nice, really nice.
That's the first time it's felt like we've actually done something besides making noise.
Huh? Well, let's do it again. Let's do it again. Let's get a really good muscle memory for it. Did it seem more logical now that you're?
Yeah.
It's only the second
No,
or
it
third time
does.
you've done it.
And the
Good.
sounds just follow.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's do it again. What the heck? We often don't get to it, so let's do it again. We're just making up for lost time. That's all we're doing. All right, let's do it again. Here we go. Good. Here we go. Good. Here come the side to sides. Last one. And we're going to rest. Nice. Did that feel even more like, yeah, it's very powerful
I
too.
would think you could see that was absolutely.
Yeah. You really feel your whole body like engaged with itself, when you're doing that. It's cool. It's really cool. And now we're even healthier than when we got here, so we did it twice. So awesome. So we have like 5 more minutes. I'll tell you what. Why don't we just do one forward backward move and then we'll end with cosmic consciousness pose and we'll call it a day. How about that? Should we do bass drum? Everybody likes bass drum. You were thinking bass drum? Yeah? You like that? Yeah. Does that sound good? Let's do bass drum. Everybody likes bass drum. Like parfait. Everybody likes parfait. Well, we already did passive.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's equally popular as passive. All right, so here we go. We're just feeling the body resting. They're about shoulder width apart. Good. And as we go forward, I'm going to have to back up. I'm going to hit the wall. There we go. Good. I'm going to do 6 of these. Here's 3. There's something magical about doing bass drum after 2 sets of 6 healing sounds. It feels very integrated to me. Justin always used to say, you don't have to do the practice in a particular order. And let's do one more. And And we're going to flow back to rest. Ah, nice. And let's do cosmic consciousness pose. So we're just going to feel our weight equally distributed between both legs. And then just pick up your left heel and rotate a little bit and drop it down on your right ankle. And check in again to see if you've still got a 50-50 split of your weight. And then all of us are going to let our arms rise up. If you're seated, this is the only part you do. And the forearms are going to be about the height of your shoulder. Your fingertips are going to overlap, and the left set of fingers is going to be the one that's closer to your body. And you can either look at your fingers or you can look at what's beyond them, or you can do both at the same time if you're really, really tricky. And then just let yourself flow back to rest. Nice. And why don't we all sit down again for our final meditation? Again, we want to find the sweet spot for the upper body so that there's no effort at all involved in letting it be very upright, like a column, kind of plugged into the bowl of your pelvis. And just let your mind's eye kind of roam around your inner landscape there. And let it land on some place of your choice, anywhere sort of at or near the Dantian, that energetic heart-mind ball of energy in the middle of your body. And we're going to call the bell. We're going to ring it 3 more times. Your whole job until I call you back is just to notice whatever you happen to notice mentally about this spot that you're looking at. Here we go. And bring your attention back to the room. Nice. That was good. Let me turn off the live stream. See you all in 2 weeks. Just Google Jessica Lewis, Tai Chi Chas, Sculpture Life, Cancer Support Community. You'll find us. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks.